I've seen it where people say that they are choosing to get married, but they don't want to have kids. That kind of mindset is not just because you want to be cool. I believe that it's out of a fear of something that you both may not want to address. Hi everyone, you're welcome to this YouTube channel. My name is Omomi, and today I'll be sharing with you the things you need to know about marriage before you get married. And so you may see me, shaking left, right. It's because I have a baby behind me that I have to ensure she remains asleep. All right, so the first thing I'd like you to know about marriage is that it should be purposeful. I know that many times people are, just excited about the fact that they are marrying their best friend, and we're just happy, we are up there excited and everything. But it's important that you find out the purpose for your coming together as spouses. Humanly speaking, it may not be something entirely big. It may just be something as simple but not simple as raising godly kids, ensuring that you both raise children that will be useful to the society and useful to God as well, ensuring that you both are very involved in expanding the kingdom of God, very involved in impacting the society, or just, making sure that you are fanning to flame the passion of God, the passion that God has put in your heart towards things. It can be NGOs, it can be youths, it can be women, it can be men, it can be whatever. But just ensure that you both understand the reason for coming together. The primary purpose, of course, should be expanding the kingdom of God. But because we are all members of the body of Christ, we all have different functions. So it's important that you find that function in which you're supposed to work in, and then work towards it as spouses. So don't just go into marriage because you want to become husband and wife, or just because you love the person and then you feel like, yes, we should be together. Have something more tangible that you are going into marriage for, and let God help you to achieve that thing, or achieve those things together. The next thing I like to say about marriage, or that you should know about marriage, is that marriage has different seasons. Like I said, on social media or outwardly, you see people just excited, in love, everything is romantic, everything is going well. That's entirely true, or it's entirely true, or should be true. However, you should also understand that as married people, you may face challenges. In fact, you will face challenges. There will be times of waiting. There will be times when you have to believe God for something. Or there will be times when things just go wrong, even between both of you. So understand that because we are humans and because this is a season, it will pass. And so it's important that you gain the necessary knowledge, necessary skills that will help you to overcome those challenges as they come. And so one thing I mentioned earlier was a period of, let's say, waiting for a child or believing God for a child. You can trust God together in that area. You can understand that because we are married and God has commanded us to, to multiply, to replenish the earth. This is a promise of God to us, or a promise from God to us, and so it's going to come to life. And so you can remain happy believing God's promises. You can live fully believing that God is going to bring that promise to life. And the other part of this message is that even if he doesn't bring it to life, we are going to keep believing him. Even if we haven't seen it yet, we're going to keep believing God. We are going to keep working towards the promises of God and live in the promise, live in the reality of the promise of God. And so during different seasons in marriage, you must understand that God is with you. You must maintain a level of sobriety where you are just very conscious that this is a season. And even if you're very excited, even if it's a very good time, even if you are having the best time of your life, you must acknowledge God even in that season, so that it's not when things are not going well or things are going haywire that you now start looking for God. Always acknowledge God in every season of your life. That way, it will not be hard for you to even look for him when things are not going well. But have it in mind that marriage has different seasons. People, you may have, very exciting times. You may have period where sex is happening every day, as in everybody is just on a high. And there may be times when sex doesn't even happen at all. For example, when a woman just has, or when she just gives birth to a child, you're advised to abstain from sex for 6 weeks medically. But in the real sense of it, you may not even have recovered by the first, second, third, fourth month, depending on how your body is, how your body works. And so during those seasons, you know that this is normal. It may change, things will get better. And so you're able to understand yourselves and, work together in understanding, because you know that this is what is expected in marriage. It's a different thing if you did not know and then you're like, what's happening? I thought we're supposed to be having sex. I thought things were supposed to be very smooth. I thought we're supposed to be so excited, things like that. Now that you know, I'm sure that you have it in mind that things may not always be on a high. Yeah, so the next thing that I'd like you to know is this: having children is a part of marriage. I've heard many people, or I've heard it, like, I don't know anybody personally, but I've seen it where people say that they're choosing to get married, but they don't want to have kids. But the truth is, you're getting married so that you can start a family. If both of you are getting married and then you're deciding that you don't want to have children, how do you intend to have a continuing family? Why would you want to stop your generation? And I believe that kind of mindset is not just because you want to be cool. I believe that it's out of a fear of something that you both may not want to address. Probably a fear of having children, or your children going through what you may have gone through, or whatever it is. So I believe that if you have this kind of mentality that you don't want to have kids, then you should really sit down with yourself and ask yourself, why don't I want to have kids and address that problem? Because even though it's manifesting as I don't want to have kids, it may be affecting you in other areas as well. So yeah, that's that. So the next thing I'd like you to know about marriage is that even when or after you get married, you don't stop learning about marriage. I'll take that again. Even after getting married, you don't stop learning about marriage if you really want to have a healthy and fulfilling marriage. Many times people think that because you're now married, you have become experts in marriage affairs, but the truth is everybody is learning. Even marriage experts still have to learn more things about the dynamics of marriage. And so after you get married, don't stop learning, don't stop seeking advice, don't stop consulting your counselor. Don't be shy to reach out for help, because nobody knows it all. Nobody is perfect. In fact, after you get married, you may find out more about your weaknesses, more about your strengths too. But on the weakness area, you may find out that you have some weaknesses in some area. Talk to your spouse about it so that you both can learn how to address it, how you can get better. In the marriage relationship, it's important that as your weaknesses come to light, you address it. Don't shy away. Don't act like you don't notice it. There are many times that I myself will just tell my husband that I've noticed this about myself and please, I need help with addressing it. And I was going to give a practical example. So I found out that there was a way I used to respond in certain situations. And so I just told my husband that I've noticed this about my responses and I'd like to address it. And so what I do is every time I respond in a way that I should not respond, I will immediately apologize and respond in a way that I should have responded. Even though my husband is not, at first upset about the first response I had given, because it's not entirely bad. But even though he's not upset, or even though he doesn't bring it up as something he is upset with, I still apologize and respond in a better way. So because I had this practice of apologizing and responding in a better way, I now had a new habit of responding in the right way. And so that's one thing that you can do in marriage. You don't stop learning, you don't stop addressing your weaknesses, and that makes you a better person. Even people that knew you before you got married will be like, this is not the Omomi I knew before she got married. And that's because you're not running away from the things that God reveals to you. You must understand that you still remain human even after marriage, and so your weaknesses will always come to light. So just address it as it comes. And the truth is, as you address it, even more things will be coming that you should address, and that's how you become a more refined person. Yeah, I hope this helps you. So one thing again about marriage that I'd like you to know is that it requires you to rearrange your priorities, before marriage, you may be this outgoing person, someone who likes to have fun, go out, keep friends, and do everything that you like to do, and have so many extracurricular activities. However, after marriage, you may not have to stop all of these things, but you would have to rearrange your priorities. You'd have to ensure that God comes first. God has always been coming first, but ensure that God still remains your first. Of course, you don't rearrange your husband before God. God will always come first, and then the next person is your husband, then family entirely, and then, every other thing can follow as you deem fit, or as the Lord requires you per time. As the Lord requires you per time, we would have to discuss this again, because there are times when, you have to rearrange some other things. Anyways, let's not even discuss that. But as the Lord requires you per time. So ensure that your family does not suffer because you want to maintain the previous life you had before marriage, so that you are not seen as a husband rapper. You are not seen as as someone who who is just not family oriented, but their head is just full of family. But ensure that your family now becomes a very important thing in your life, and that your husband doesn't doubt his place in your life because of the many things that you have packed into the marriage. And it's also important that even while prioritizing things in marriage, you don't allow your friendships to suffer. If you find out that your friendship with your friends is beginning to, be affected by your marriage, you can have discussions with them and let them know that, please, this is still a new terrain for me. I'm still trying to find my ground. Forgive me for the many times I'll be absent and unable to pick your calls. I'm sure that if you have really good friends, they'll be very understanding, and they may even be the one who consistently reach out to you. I'm very grateful for the friends that I have. They've been very, understanding and helpful in reaching out, texting, and never saying, well, sometimes I get you don't even check up on me, and I don't feel bad when they say that, because I'm now learning that I have a duty to, also take care of my friends and be responsible for them. So that's it. That's the point. Your priorities should be rearranged after marriage. Don't let your marriage suffer because you want to maintain the previous lifestyle that you've always had. But also pray to God to help you to maintain everything, also help you to rearrange the things that He would have you rearrange as time goes. So the next thing I'd like to say, which is, arguable, but it's something I've really noticed about marriage or after you get married, and that it becomes even, I don't want to say the word worse, but dominant, or what word will I use? It just becomes very obvious as the time goes by in marriage, and is that you become more dependent on your partner. You see how much you need them as the day goes. You see how much you are dependent on them, and how that you really need them. That's the word. And so don't let people talk you out of being dependent on your partner. I don't want to use the word not so dependent as you depend on God as well, but it's good when someone knows that you are there for them, and it's good when you are there for your partner as well. And so it's good also when you let your partner know that you need them, and when they let you know that they need you as well. It's this kind of synergy that is needed in marriage to help you people grow into becoming one. Because trust me, on the first day you get married, you're still trying to learn of yourselves. But as you continue in marriage, as you continue to discuss, have sex, be intimate, plan together, spend your money together, do things together, you begin to become one, and you find out that this person is strengthening in this area, I'm also strengthening in this area, and then you find yourself depending on them for the things that they are very strong in, and you find them depending on you as well. So allow it, be vulnerable in your marriage. It's normal, and grow and learn from the other person as well. So there are so many things that I'd like to share but I feel like the video is already long. And so the final thing I'm going to say, which is like the summary of everything, is that you really need Jesus in marriage. You need him to give you the wisdom for maintaining a godly, healthy, and happy marriage. I know many times people are like, even people that are not Christians have happy marriage. But the truth is, these people are many times adopting the teachings of Jesus in their marriage, ensuring that they are patient with one another, doing many things that Jesus teaches us to do. And so instead of just picking the lessons from Jesus and, stealing it for your own marriage, you may as well just have Jesus for yourself. Have a relationship with him. Let him teach you the things that you need to know about your marriage. And trust me, every marriage is as peculiar as the people that are in it. And so you cannot copy another person's marriage. Do copy, Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V in your own marriage. You have to learn by yourself. You have to, let God reveal to you who your partner is and how you can please them, how they can please you. Summary of everything I'm saying is that Jesus Christ is able to help you have a happy marriage. Is able to deliver you from whatever it is you may have experienced as it relates to seeing other people's marriages or even the family that you came from. He's able to give you a fulfilling marriage, a fulfilling life everlasting. Everything that you can think of that is good is in him, and that is the best way to get things. I was also going to say that it is not enough to just think that because we have a purpose for which we are coming together, then our marriage is going to be successful. You really do need Jesus Christ. Now that I'm even saying this point, I can remember a particular power couple that still got a divorce, even though they had a very big purpose that they were achieving together. And so that shows that coming together for to achieve things, to achieve earthly things or to gain earthly rewards is not going to help you succeed in marriage, because this is an institution that is holy and developed by the wisdom of God. So you need his wisdom. And so you can't say that because some people survived survived being married till death without Jesus, then you will do the same. You do not want to leave or make your own marriage the experiment, or make your marriage an experiment for if it to succeed with or without Christ. You need Jesus, and I'm hoping that you accept him, and I'm hoping that you develop a relationship with him. You can send me an email, you can send a personal message to me, and I'll be very happy to teach you more. And even if you're a Christian and your relationship with Christ is not as strong as you would want it to be, I can help you through the help of God, or you can in fact just talk to God yourself, and he will lead you to the things that you need to know per time. I hope that you found this video useful and that you were able to learn some things. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.